Down? I don't understand why. It's so frustrating. I don't understand why it resets to that setting every time. Because even before I went live, I like re-clicked it all. And then when I went live, it just unchecked. It doesn't like me. I know. I don't understand it. It's so annoying. I think I can figure out how to maybe fix it. I have one more trick up my sleeve that I could try to fix for next time I go live, but hopefully that doesn't happen anymore. Super annoying. What's up, Appa? How's it going? Welcome to the stream. All right, we've got the YouTube Shorts going, and we've got... what's up, Big Ben? How's it going? Welcome back. We've got the YouTube Shorts going, and we've got the regular widescreen version happening too today. Is this an orc? This is not an orc. This is a slaughterbound. Let's see, what chat is coming up? Maybe you guys can tell me. I think it's probably... Yeah, okay, that is the widescreen chat that's up. So, it looks a little orky. It is a World Eater. So, let's see. Can we hit... This thing looks paused. What do you think of people bringing cardboard cutouts or something else to represent their character on tabletop instead of miniatures? I'm like fine with it if it's not for like an official tournament, because I feel like there's a certain amount of like competitive advantage you get by just refusing to spend any money on the hobby while everybody else is dropping like 2 Gs to get their army all painted and built and buying official product. I think there's something to be said about how if you just like if the Dataslate drops and then you just like cut out a bunch of things out of cardboard the next day and then you go win a tournament with like stuff that you just literally cut out of cardboard, I feel like that just kind of makes it an unfair playing field. Like there's just not, you're not on the same playing field as somebody else who just went out and has been like collecting that army for a long time and is, you know, also trying to pay their bills. So I think what it does when you do stuff like that, if you're trying to play like competitive, it gives you an unfair advantage. But I think if you're just playing with your homies, it doesn't matter at all. Like, who cares? That is my philosophy on, like, most things. It's like, oh, dude, should I, like, bring this unit or that unit? It's like, I don't know. Are you just playing with your friends? Then it literally doesn't matter at all. Bring the guys that you think look cool. But if you want to talk about, like, the broader meta that's, like, still kind of being formed right now, then I can form an opinion on that. But most people, like a huge majority of people who play this game, and even people who like consume competitive content, they're not trying to win GTs. And I just wish people could kind of change their mindset a little bit. And maybe I can do a little bit to like help with that. And guys, just do me a huge favor. If you could just let me know if the music ever gets too loud or anything when we're streaming, because I want it to be like just there. I want it to exist, but I don't want it to be like the main thing that's just like attacking your ears. But that is how I feel. The music's perfect. Sweet. Thanks, guys. I need to get maybe a second screen so I can see the other YouTube chat too, so I don't have to keep breaking my neck, but that might be in a couple minutes kind of a thing. Oh, my other tablet might be charged. I could maybe do that. Will this... I've got the GW... What cameras is this going? The GW like model holder. But this dude is on a 50mm base. And I think he might be too big. He might be a little bit too thick, guys. I don't think he fits. Oh no. What if I don't know how easy this would be. I bet I could makeshift something. So this guy's a slaughterbound, for those who aren't in the know. He is the new character that came out this edition for World Eaters. He leads 8-bound, an exalted 8-bound. Here's an example of an 8-bound that I already have painted. So he like leads these dudes, or the exalted version, which have like chain swords and stuff, or chain fists. They're supposed to kill like monsters and vehicles and stuff. Just use an empty bottle. That's not a bad idea. But he's pretty cool. So what I'm going to do, now that they've changed the Exalted 8-bound rule to give you +1 damage when you go into monsters and vehicles, I am going to put this guy with them as well, so that he'll also get +1 damage. So when he has like a once per game ability that I think gives him +3 attacks and devastating wounds. So once you charge something with 3 8-bound with I think 15 attacks that are anti-monster, anti-vehicle 3-up, and they're AP 2, damage 3 when you go into that target. The slaughterbound will have an additional 10 attacks. So you've got 25 attacks. He'll be strength 12, so when he's attached, it won't be so bad. I was like, because he doesn't have the anti, so it's not like, it doesn't really matter. It'd be like kind of cool if he had the anti, just because when he goes Super Saiyan, he basically gets dev wounds. So dev wounds with anti would be disgusting. It would actually be like way too OP. But you can't always get what you want. He's a legit dude though. I like him. I was running him I've been basically running him since he came out. I'm a fan. Here, let me just do. He's a good caddy of some enhancements. When I was doing a Corn Demonkin, he was carrying my I think it's called like Icon of Corn or something. And with the icon, it basically projects this aura onto all of your demon allies, and then the demon allies will get your World Eater Army rule, which is like sustained hits or lethal hits, or 6-inch pylon consolidate, or what are some other ones? Reroll the charge roll. Fight on death? Yeah, fight on death. That's kind of cool. So I was liking that, but when they changed that summon by slaughter stratagem to just not be fully broken, I didn't really want to relearn how to play the detachment, so I just went back to. I actually went back to Blood Angels pretty quickly after that. I did like one or two more games with just Berserker Warband, and I was kind of like, meh. Just not feeling it. Not feeling it. Man, why is the paint not coming off my brush? But let me know in the chat, what are you guys painting today? What are you guys currently working on? What are you excited about? What armies are you playing? Grab a sody pop. Get out your paints. Let's chill. Currently in my list, I'm going to have 2 slaughterbounds. I have to proxy the second one because I have not yet bought. Ooh, you've decided to repaint your Ironclad Dreadnought, but you need to continue working on your Knight. So to repaint and reprime. Nice, nice, nice. That's cool. I don't have any Knights. Not a single one. I've been very tempted to get some Armigers. Back in the day, before I had bought my Caladius Grav Tanks for my Custodes, I really wanted to get some Knights to kind of support with some shooting my Custodes. And also I could see my brother plays War Dogs in his Plague Legion and in his Death Guard, and they support that army really well. So, and they look cool. I really like how those models look. So someday I'll pick up a box of War Dogs or some Armigers or something. But probably won't ever take the leap into the big Knights. I've had the opportunity a couple times to like buy some collections off people, and I'm just like, I'm like a kind of a guy who likes to run like MSU infantry. So to like switch over and just start running Knights is just like not really my jam. Kind of goes against how I like to play the game. I want to be in lots of places. I want to take up a lot of space. I want to have a lot of bodies to... When I start taking damage, I can just kill the one guy of my, 10-man squad instead of just losing an entire thing with one shot. That seems no fun. Oh, your knight's a free blade? Nice. That's dope. I can't remember if that is supposed to be flesh toned. How did I do it on this guy? I painted it black on that guy. Maybe that's what it's supposed to be? We'll see. It's a little ways away. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to kill the short stream because it's too distracting to run 2 streams at once. All right, and end stream. Got some views. And then we'll just bring this one up just so I can look at the chat over here. And then I can actually focus. Running 2 streams was pulling too much of my focus. I can't handle it. I don't have that skill yet. There we go. Now I can see the chat. All right, cool. Let's get back to it. I also saw an option to stream to Instagram. I wonder if anyone would be interested in that. I could do that. Is anybody trying to just like hang out on their phone on Instagram though, like that? I don't know about that. Marine with an Age of Sigmar Carnosaur. Thought it was just the coolest thing. Oh, dude, I don't even know what that is. I'll have to Google that later. Sounds like a dinosaur of some kind. That seems neat. We are just doing trim. It's my least favorite thing about Chaos Armies. It is just like, it looks cool when it's done, but it does not. I don't think it looks like that much cooler than like any other kind of thing. Oh, you have one of the Carnosaurs? That's dope. Old blood on Carnosaur. Heck yeah. Yeah, AOS is cool. I have obviously just like a lot of demon stuff, but I don't have. I used to have Caradron Overlords, and I sold them to my friend. I just am like so deep into 40k that it's just kind of hard to want to like pick up AOS. But I will someday. I will make the time for it. Paint on my palette. Yeah, I am excited about the state of World Eaters right now. I actually think that World Eaters might become a kind of a problem. I think being able to bring 3x3 regular 8-bound and 3x3 exalted 8-bound and a bunch of slaughterbounds and still have a bunch of trash, I think think that the world leaders are going to become quite strong. Whether or not I can drive them to any success is a totally separate issue. But I do think that they will be pretty strong in the hands of good players. So I'm excited to see what happens. $135 points for, I think what did they move, 10? For a 10-inch moving, T6, 3 wound, 18 attacks in Berserker Warband, hitting on 2s into the preferred target, exploding 6s, maybe even lethals if you're feeling spicy. You don't think you're going to be playing with your tabletop with your custom chapter because it'll be crazy? You want dinosaurs? I want dinosaurs, dang it. Dude, dinosaurs are dope. That'd be cool. I could maybe do some type of conversion with those dinosaurs. I'm a big fan of kit bashing and converting things. This hobby is like really expensive, and it just feels weird sometimes when you're like, especially an army like World Eaters, where the range is so small of what the unique units are. You kind of look across the table and just like everything is like a copy paste of the same guy. You're like, this doesn't look like an army. This looks like I went to the store and bought, you know, how many boxes is that? 1, 2, 6 boxes of the same thing, and they just built it, which is not very, doesn't feel very cool, like alive and original. I've got my list right now has what is it? It's got Karn the Betrayer, who went up 15 points, which I'm totally okay with. He was amazing before. He's still amazing at 100 points. He was so undercosted at 85. It was like crazy that they thought that's what he should have cost. But he bonks, and then you kill him, and then he stands back up on a 2-up, and he bonks again. I am a fan of Karn the Betrayer. I've always been kind of like mid on him. I like got him when I first started collecting World Eaters, and I love the model. I'm a fan of the model, and his rule is always like kind of funny, where if like, I think if I'm outside of a transport and not in engagement range, at the end of anyone's fight phase, I have to pass a leadership check, and if I don't, I have to take one of my berserkers off the table because he just kills them out of a blind rage, which is really funny. I like a little bit wish that it was just like a wound or something, just so it was more like thematic and less like painful. But I get it. But was it 90 for 10? No, it's 180 for 10, so they're 18 points a model. Just for standing outside of a transport and not being in engagement range, you just lose 18 points off your list. It's a little silly. But it's Warhammer. When Warhammer's silly, I feel like it's fun. When something weird is happening and the game's not taking itself too seriously, I'm like, alright. I'm into this. I feel like just all of this is supposed to be bronze. I don't know. I don't know. We're just winging it. The one thing that's nice about, I think last stream I was doing my Inceptors, and you just have to do the same model 6 times. The cool thing about this guy is that for a few hours I can just kind of lock in and get this guy as far as I want without having to worry about like repeating these steps a million times. I'm just like, oh, okay. I painted that, now it's done. Instead of, oh, I painted that, now I have to do it 5 more times. I get a little hobby fatigue on 40K stuff, to be honest. It's just so much. But hopefully the longer I'm in the hobby, the less often that will happen, because I will just have things painted already. Nice. Definitely making some progress here. Maybe just we'll knock out the metallics first just to get it over with. You're eventually going to have Raptors and Raven Guard. Dude, Raven Guard are cool. So are Raptors. All that like jetpack stuff is just super neat. Gosh, my eye is so itchy. I keep trying to grab this thing's focus. Come on. There it is. Oh, Say just subscribed. Thank you. To Say? I don't know why that didn't show up on the other one. Welcome to the channel. Is that thing supposed to be bronze too? I need to look up a picture of this guy real quick. Huh? All the pictures of him have his like weapon in front of his chest, so I can't even see it. There any other pictures of this guy? Yeah, I think that's supposed to be bronze. teeth supposed to be bronze too? Gosh, these pictures are terrible. I guess they don't have to be. Alright, okay, okay. My paint on my web palette is like drying out too, which is not ideal. Dude, the thing I think I'm the most excited about with new, like, Dataslate World Eaters, I think it's just got to be the 8-bound. I think in my list right now I kept one Forge Fiend. They went up 20 points each. But I think to still have some amount of shooting in your list is just something you want to keep. But I'm curious, if I was like a really good like math hammer guy, I would like do the math on like, okay, so I drop them, and like does the rest of the stuff that I replace that with just do the same job? Can they kill as much or more? And sure, you have to like get up close and personal to kill when you're playing a combat army, but you kind of have to get up close and personal. Yeah, Forge Fiends, at least the World Eater variant went up 20. They were 150 and now they're 170. So it is definitely a consideration now if that's something you want. I don't think I want to run 2 anymore, but I don't think I'd be mad about it. I would just need to play them so much more carefully, because if you lose one before activating and getting your points cost on them, that's no bueno. They also kind of like stealth nerfed them so that like when somebody moves, you have to actually be the closest unit and not just the closest eligible unit now on the Overwatch rerolls, which is still good to be able to get the rerolls. People were like crying like they couldn't even get the rerolls at all, and I'm like, guys, that is not what just happened. It's just saying that they have to actually be the closest unit. You can't just like do some like rules as written nonsense, which I'm a little bit like pro. The thing I get frustrated with when I play competitive Warhammer is just the like rules as written people who are just like, well, actually, that means that. So I get to do whatever I want because this rule is broken and silly, and the way the GW worded it means that I could actually activate this ability multiple times. I'm like, okay, whatever. But that's what I find challenging as a TO, where like you see something that's like broken and it's not really my job to fix it. Like I remember when DACA or More DACA or whatever the heck that detachment was called came out, my whole community was like, ban it, ban it, ban it. And I was like, okay, I'll ban it. And I only really banned it like after everybody already signed up and there weren't any orc players playing. I hadn't even added it to the player pack before all these people signed up and put up what army they're saying. I just sort of said More DACA was banned a little bit like as a meme and a little bit to like appease the players that seemed so upset by it. But then I got like one of my local players was an orc player and like really wanted to share their opinion with me as to why they thought that was not a smart idea. Which just kind of was just like, all right, well, You're like damned if you do, trying to like help people feel better about not getting bullied by some like super mean detachment, and then you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. It's like kind of as a TO, I found there's sort of no winning, which is fine. I personally feel like I have the fortitude to kind of endure, you know, just not always making everybody happy all the time. But as long as I can keep the community free of people who are jerks and keep the integrity of the games up and integrity of my events up, I think I'm doing my job. But I don't know. A lot of people have a lot of feelings about this game. I think that is probably like a bone thing. Won't paint that part. Get down here. Get these teeth. I wonder, you guys can bear with me for a moment. I think I'm gonna try to put this camera on the other side of my chair. So just hang with me, because I think because we tried this for 2 streams already, let's try the 3rd stream with the camera over here, because I think my hand will block less of what's happening if we switch sides. If my chair still fits, that's the question. Okay, does this work? I feel like it must. And if I sit here, you should invest in a painting space to stream / record your Raven Guard journey. Sure. Whatever makes you happy. So this maybe goes there now, and then we're here. Got that there. And then when I come in with my brush, yeah, there we go. Yeah, now we're not streaming my hand. I feel like this is better. You guys let me know in the chat if you think this is actually better. Yeah, dude, this is so much better. Oh my gosh. We're learning. Back in the day, I used to do like video game streaming, so it's like not as complicated. Just throw up the camera, throw up the mic. I used to do green screen too. Throw up the green screen, throw on a couple lights. Boom. Now I've got like the multiple cameras. Got to make sure people can see my face. Got to make sure people can see the miniature. It's a little bit more complicated, potential. Nice. What kind of games do you like, Ben? So much trim. You can really tell they kind of like put this into their like 3D modeling software, like an 8-bound model, and then just started like pulling on it and like adding, copy pasting things. It's like exactly the same. Angron went down 25 points. That was kind of interesting. I think the issue is that because Exalted 8-bound like also went down by a significant amount, that they just still outcompete him pretty hard. And then his auras don't really support the army really well. And if he comes back to life, he removes the ability for you to get like sustained hits and fight on death on your army, which is just kind of like, why? I feel like that's so unnecessary. But he is just kind of a scary dude. Like, if you can hold him to the end and just clear out all your opponent's anti-tank, he's a pretty scary closer. I wish they would just take away his revive mechanic and just price him as if he existed one time, and then we would just have a great Primarch on our hands. But I'm just not even interested in having that revive mechanic happen. Like, it feels bad for your opponent when it happens. You're like, dude, what? I just spent so many resources killing that guy and now he's back? Like, this is bullshit. I'm like, yeah, it is bullshit. You're right. It shouldn't exist. Like, I guess maybe in the lore or something, he came back to life somehow or something. And that's why he's like that in the game, but I don't know. It seems pretty... Custodes do blender him up. I mean, most Custodes are like strength 7. I guess some Alaris maybe you could mess him up. Or the Cladius Grav Tank, if you shoot like 2 Cladius Grav Tanks at him, as long as he doesn't like get his invuls. I think people tend to be running Alaris more now that it seems like Lions of the Emperor is the preferred detachment now. Alaris are cool. They're just slow as heck. Terminators that move 5 is just not my playstyle. But their ability to up-down is cool. I've gotten really used to that playing Angelic Inheritors. I'm going to have to like readjust my game plan. Now that my units like have to be where I put them. I can't just go back into the sky for a CP or free from a captain. I'm going to have to actually learn how to play again. Yeah, what do they get? Do they get re-roll the wound roll, or do they get +1 to the wound roll? I can't remember what their datasheet rule is. How many Alaris did you have in the unit? Was it a 6-man or something? I forget how big you can make those. I feel like 6 is maybe the biggest. Did you have the captain in there too? Full rerolls to wound. Because what you do when you fight Custodes is you hold 2 CP and then you wait for them to fight you, and then you do -1 damage. And then you can hit me with 1,000,000 1 damage things. I'll save half of them with my invuln. And then the other half that go through just do 1 damage, and that's usually not enough to one-shot him. If it's just a unit that's like has no character. Because it's like 15, that's 15 dice. Even if you got them all through, just 3 guys. So 3 guys is 15 dice. Even if you're in Shield Host, we'll say you're in Shield Host and give you crit 5s. So then you have like a slightly more than 100% hit rate, because it'd be like 100 and gosh, what is the math on that? It's 100. It's like another 1/6 on top of that. Is that like 13% or something? Or 18%? So you'd probably get, let's say you get 19. 19 attacks that go to wound. Your strength 7, I think. But you're rerolling the wound roll. So strength 7 will be wounding on 5s. So that's to drop 2/3 of those. But then you get to reroll it, so you get half of that. So you get another third back. So that would be 3. Another third back. No, half of that would be 15, 19, 16, 18. Half, 8, half, 12. So you hand me 12 wounds. My basic scheme looks like this. It's basically just like I put some red paint down, and then I do Mordant Earth, which is a crackle paint, and it kind of like splits and breaks. And then I do a little bit of like the snow texture. So they're sort of like in like a lava world that's like full of like blood. And then it's all snowy. But this is one of my 8-bound. It's like, welcome to the stream, Timothy. Oh, but to go back to the math, you hand Angron 12 saves. He mathematically saves half of those, which would be 6 go through. Which, if I do -1 damage, I take 6 damage, which doesn't kill Angron. Math! Thanks, Timothy. Yeah, I think it's rad. It's cool. It was like one of my first ones. I think if I could do it all over again, I'd do it different. But so much of my World Eaters army has that basing scheme that I just don't really want to break all their bases off and redo it. But one of these days I will. I think it's fine. I think what I would like is to do kind of like a more bluey teal kind of a basing scheme, to do a just have like better like color theory contrasty like against the red. I think that would really make the miniature pop. You know what? I might just do that on this slaughterbound just to see if it's worth it. Maybe we'll do a whole stream where I crack every single base off of my world leaders and we just redo all of them in one sitting. It'd be kind of fun. But yeah, it's like fine. It's fine. I think this part is supposed to be bronze. I'll just do the toes. What did I do? How did I do? Oh, I just didn't even do it on these, I don't think. Huh. I guess it doesn't really matter. I'll do bronze on this. Let's do a little bit of bronze here. What detachment were you running, Ben? Because we could redo the math. If you have like a stratagem or something for +1 to wound or something. Start of the edition, so you're doing shield hose, so there's crit 5s. Was there a well, the math was still the same. You were still strength 7. Spears were what you took at the beginning of the edition. It's possible your opponent bombed its saves and you spiked your crits and your opponent didn't do -1 damage, which is what you definitely do in that situation, but not everybody knows that. So it's possible that like you rolled hot, they rolled low, and then they didn't pop the stratagem, and maybe. I mean, dice just gonna be dice sometimes. Like the math is good just so you have like a general idea what you're gonna do. But like, dude, I've done the math so many times mid game, and then just kind of like the dice just tell me to just like suck it. It is frustrating. You just fell over and over. Dang. That's cool. It's always cool when you can take down a Primarch. I think the Lion is starting to look real scary, y'all. With his like 3-up invuln and fights first. God, they changed something else for him too that seemed disgusting. Oh, they let him do 2 of his like aura abilities now, which is like, dude, the Lion didn't need any buffs. Just people weren't really playing him, and I honestly don't know why. I thought he was very good. I think sometimes what happens is that like the internet, quote unquote, like agrees what is good and what is bad, and then you just see like a lot of like non-creative thinking of just people finding lists online and copy pasting them, and then people don't even try to like run the Lion and see what he's all about. But I think we'll see a return of the Lion now that World Eaters are so strong. People are going to want to have that fights first. And I see arguments against people like, oh, you don't need fights first, blah, blah. It's only going to help you in like a third of your matchups, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I don't think I've ever regretted having fights first in my army. Certainly don't regret it when I'm like being charged by like, gosh, what did I get charged by the other day? Oh, it was like a bunch of Gretchen. They were trying to tie me up, and I heroic'd in Dante, and then I dropped the Sanguinor out of the sky with fights first. So then the Sanguinor like punched half the Gretchen dead, and then Dante and 3 boys cleaned up the rest of the unit. But I just like didn't really. I was running Angelic Inheritors, so like didn't actually matter about being tied up. But I sort of just wanted to steal the inches on Dante, because I did a heroic and then I came out into like the middle of the table, like I was in a ruin, and then I like came out, and then I was like in the basically on the center objective, and then I think I scored it on primary in my next turn, and then I just moved 12 with Dante into basically into their back line to like go kill Gaz, which was beautiful. Bye bye, Gaz. Do we? I actually owned orcs for a hot minute. Some days I regret selling them, and then other days I'm like fine with it. They are pretty neat. Oh, that is true. Gonna put pure AdMech for a bit. Every game. Yeah, dude. I think AdMech. I forget what happened, but they got some meaningful buffs, and I think people. The thing I think AdMech is a hard army to play, so you might not see it all the time. But the people who are like the AdMech masters are gonna be the guys to fear. My friend was actually just talking to me about how she was trying to get AdMech back on the table. Which I'd be super down. I might message them. Super down to get a game to see what that's all about. While I break in these angry boys. They're so angry. Oh my gosh, there's so much bronze on this guy. I was like, oh, I'll start with bronze. There's like a little bit of bronze on his legs, and then we'll get to painting the other stuff. And I'm just like, still, how far are we into the stream? Where's the timer on that? Let me look. Click, click, clack. Oh, we're like an hour in. We're still on the bronze. I guess I could be trying to paint faster. I'm like a sloppy painter, so I don't want to mess it up. Like I'll lose time trying to repaint all the stuff I accidentally got bronze on. So it's like actually just worth it to just go slower. Your Scotch roast disappeared? I don't know what that is. I don't know what a Scotch roast is. Oh, that new guy? The guy that's on stilts? Yeah, that guy's cool. He disappeared? Oh no. That's a bummer, he just came out. Yeah, the slaughterbound is really cool in New World Eaters. The spawn going from, I think they were 80 before and now they're 90. That's fair. They're annoying. But I guess I just really can't complain because the 8-bound going from 150 to 135 is just chef's kiss. I'm curious if that 8-bound detachment is like worth trying now. Because there's a couple funny things. The detachment rule is stupid. Just like blood surge on 8-bound. Which is just not very... That's something that I want. And then in the detachment, you lose the +1 attack, +2 strength. So it's like, do you... Is that what we want, guys? Berserker Warband is just almost too good. It's like hard to compare it to the other ones. Because when you know that the guys that all these 8-bound could be strength 10, and then in this other detachment they're strength 8, you're like, well, I could be strength 10. So why am I here? Why am I here, boss? Let me go to the other one. Totally get it. Man, I gotta transition to doing new like non-metallic metals. I really am just sick of these GW. And maybe somebody can recommend to me like a better bronze. These things are just chunky and they're like hard to thin. They either get like they're either too chunky or they're too watery. These paints are not my favorite. I do like the shade of this Runelord brass, so I'm definitely not complaining about the color. I really like how this looks. But its consistency and like the glitteriness of the actual metallic paints just leaves a little bit to be desired. IMO. Just do a quick 2-second break to rest my hand to do a little mini showcase here, guys. This is my Karn the Betrayer. I'm super happy with how it turned out. He is awesome. And also maybe one of the best units in my whole army. He just blenders people and stands back up on a 2-up. But yeah, Karn is amazing. This dude rules. And then I've also got... This is a conversion from 30k. This is my Master of Executions, which I'm super happy with also. This guy rules. That axe is just like, he is a master of executing. Check out that thing. You can't tell me that's not a Master of Executions right there. Come on. This model looks just so much cooler than the CSM Master of Executions. I'm just not into that one. Also, for like a hot minute, you just couldn't find it. When I think when like World Leaders first dropped, like you legit like couldn't even find it anywhere. And that's when I think the meme on Reddit started, where it was like, "Is this can this be a Master of Execution? What do you guys think of my Master of Executions?" It's a little bit of an inside joke for people who are on the World Leaders subreddit, but there you go. Ooh, we're getting there. We're getting there. We are almost done with this first pass of bronze. I think we'll probably switch to some type of red to kind of clean this up a little bit. And then I might just do a wash on this bronze. Oh yeah, dude. Those dudes are sweet. Shaw and Shrike. I feel like there has not been an agreement in the community on how to pronounce that guy's name. Is it like Atheon or Atheon? Let me know if like you're a lore guy and you actually know. Not up to date. Word. Yeah, I have no idea. I am definitely not a lore guy. I like playing the game. Sometimes. Sometimes I think if Warhammer was like a video game, I'd probably just play it, but there's something about like going in person, like meeting people, making friends. That is, I think that's ultimately what's kept me in it, is like the ability to like manage a part of this community at our store. It's cool. It's cool to like, you know, build something that people are excited about, and like, what's the next one gonna be? Like, what are we doing next? Like, what? Like, oh, sweet. Like, everyone's like having fun. Yay. It's nice to be able to like do that for people. Man, his big base is blocking where I'm painting. Have you tried? No. I'm not really an RTS guy. I played Warcraft 3 back in the day. I really liked it. Warcraft 3 and Frozen Throne. That was awesome. It's probably when I was a kid, that was like one of my favorite PC games. And then I didn't really get into the RTSs. Oh, and then StarCraft, just because I was like already in like the Blizzard ecosystem. StarCraft 1 and a little, probably more StarCraft 1 than StarCraft 2. I feel like I bought StarCraft 2 and I was like, oh, I'll play this. And then I was just kind of like, eh. RTSs are just kind of not my thing. I think I've learned. Right now I'm playing Hollow Knight. Because I bought it 7 years ago and I was like, oh man, this is like awesome. I love Metroidvanias. Like, Metroid is probably one of my favorite games ever. Not the original, that game sucks. But Super Metroid is awesome. Metroid Zero Mission's awesome though. But the like OG NES Metroid is just unplayable. That game is not fun at all. Maybe it was fun in like 1985 when that game came out, but trying to pop that thing in 40 years later, no thanks. No thank you. Got a Switch 2, was playing Donkey Kong Bonanza. That game's kind of cool. My review of Donkey Kong Bonanza is that it's no Mario Odyssey and it's no Donkey Kong Country. So it's just kind of like I'm comparing it to like these two like basically perfect games. But I'm more of a fan of Tropical Freeze. I don't know if anybody's down with the Donkey Kong, but I'm more of a fan of Tropical Freeze than I was of the new Bonanza game. Even though that new Bonanza game was getting like rave reviews. I do think it's really good. Surely no Super Mario. Yeah, exactly. It's no Mario Galaxy. They're re-releasing that game. I just was watching a Nintendo Direct about it. Or at least the Galaxy already came out. They're re-releasing Galaxy 2. Yeah, that makes sense. Galaxy is a lot of people's favorite. That makes a lot of sense. It's pretty good. Yeah, the thing about Mario 64 is I did not own a 64 at the time, so I was always playing it like after the fact, and I think I just kind of like I had already played. I also like Sunshine, which is like a, what is that called? Like a controversial take. But I had played Mario 64 sort of like after like technology had already gotten better. So when you go back and play Mario 64, it's just kind of like, it holds up. I actually think Mario 64 kind of holds up, but not, it doesn't hold up in the way that like it feels better to play than some of these more modern 3D platformers that like built off that design. Like it definitely was a like a trailblazer. But just so many things have come since then that have like iterated on that and made it better. That I'm just kind of like, I'll play it 64 for like some little bit of nostalgia. But I don't think I have. I don't think I've beaten it more than once. Just kind of like checked it off the checkbox, off the checklist of games that you must beat before you die, and then I was like, okay, that's done. But definitely a fan. It's a good game. It's like classic, iconic. Every time I think I'm done with this bronze, I find another piece of his armor that needs it. And I'm just like, how much more bronze do you need? Oh yeah, dude, Gilliman is just all bronze. Holy moly. I like never started painting him. I did. I started painting him and I got the blues all done. I like airbrushed him to get like some values on the blues. And then I just, when it came down to finally putting the brush on to do all that trim, I was like, nah. Let's not. I sold my ultras to a friend of mine. So I pretty much am only playing Blood Angels with my Space Marines. But I was saying this, I think, a couple streams ago. I think ultimately I would like to get proxies for, like, Calgar and Uriel Ventress and Gilliman with, like, Horus Heresy, like, World Eater characters. Like, get that 30k Angron and proxy him for Gilliman. That would be sick. Whoa, a third Gilliman? That'd be cool. Yeah, I think I'm like, I like painting, but it's not, I don't think it's like my favorite part of the hobby. So I don't know if I would have the desire to do something like paint a really cool centerpiece model like Gilliman like more than once. I want to do it and be like, yay, I did it. Oh, you sold them. I see. I'm following now. I get it. Yeah, typically the stuff I'm selling I haven't even painted. It was just kind of like out of the pile of shame. But I did what are those like space cops, like the Arbiters? That new kill team, or not new kill, it was new 2 years ago. I had painted those like really well because I had been allying them into my Custodes. And then I think they like were about to nerf them. There was like a rumor they were going to get nerfed, and I was like, I don't really play kill team. I'm just going to get rid of these guys. So I sold them for like $200 or something crazy because they were like pretty well painted, and they were like really meta at the time and hard to find. So I threw them on eBay for like $200, and then someone like instantly bought them, and I was like, okay, enjoy. Yeah, that makes sense. I have like 4 armies that I rotate through, so pretty much doesn't really matter what the meta is. I have an army that can hang. I've got world eaters. I've got Tau. I have Custodes. I have Space Marine Blood Angels, and I've got a small force of demons that I use just in my world eaters. But I could see fleshing that out a little bit, and getting like a full demon force. Or even trying to run like Shadow Legion with CSM. Except I really don't want to have to buy a codex for CSM just to do like one detachment. That just seems lame. I really want them to like kind of, because we're doing the subscription to use the app and all this. I want them to kind of figure out a more consumer friendly way to get us the rules in a way where they feel like they're making enough money and like paying other people well, but at the same time not like gouging people for wanting to know the rules that their opponent has without having to ask their opponent to hand them a book that costs $60 in like the middle of a tournament. Like there just needs to be a better way. I think ultimately, Warhammer is like a hobby first focused company. So like they're less focused on like, well, what do you mean you need to see the rules of your opponent? Just ask your friend who's like drinking a beer across the table from you. But I think they know that that's not how most people play. So maybe someday they'll catch up to how people are playing. That's what I'm saying. Like, it just charge the one subscription and then just give us, or even do that. And then if you really want to, charge $20 for every digital codex. Like, if I want to get access, if there's a new army that's coming out and I want to see all the rules, just charge me $20. And if I don't really care to see what Tyranids are about to do, I don't have to spend the $20. But if I do want to know, I can. And then it'll be about the same. Oh yeah, to have multiple lists you have to pay, which is so silly. I mostly just do that subscription to get the mini of the month every year, so it ends up being like kind of worth it. That new Aldari dude, I forget what exactly it is because I'm not like an elf expert, but he looks pretty cool. Did we do it? Did we get the first coat of bronze on everything? Let's do a little rotation. Nah, I missed a couple spots. Almost. Never cared for the early minis. One of them was cool. One of them was a World Eater mini that I think I have that I haven't even opened yet. He's like way over there. I can't reach him. That Terminator. That guy would be like kind of a cool proxy for a slaughterbound. It's a World Eater character. It's like kind of crazy that they just, I don't know how much you guys know about World Eaters, but there's like Red Butchers were like this iconic World Eater unit, and we still don't have them. We still don't have a cavalry unit to be led by our 2 cavalry characters. It's there. The design is very strange. But maybe in 11th we'll get more. But if you look at like Thousand Suns do not have a ton of miniatures in their range. They pull a lot of stuff from like Sigmar, which is a choice for sure. They have Red Butchers and Heresy though. I've seen those models. They have like Red Butchers and like I think they have something called Rampagers. There's like some cool things for Heresy that I've seen, but the models are so old. I'm just like, ugh. This seems like a pain in the butt to try to like convert up, and it's also all that resin is just so expensive. Oh, I see. Yeah, in 40K they don't. Yeah. All right, I think I'm gonna take a 2-second break because I gotta swap out this water because it's all glittery from this because I want to switch to different colors. Ooh, or I could just do silver. There's definitely enough silver. Maybe we do that before we swap the paint pot or the water thing. Okay. Where is it? Lead Belcher. Remind me what the felt blade is. Man, I'm getting so much paint on my hand. There we go, that's fine. I had paper towel over here. Well, that's what these painting shorts are for. They're already covered in paint, it's fine. Okay. Nice, this will be nice. All right, how long did that take? Yeah, like an hour and a half. Oh my gosh. That's fine. Now it's over. That's the thing I sometimes forget when I'm painting, that like, oh man, that took so long. It's like, yeah, but like you don't have to do it again. Now it's over. And I'm not sure I'm ever going to buy a second one of these. I'm probably just going to convert miniatures. Oh, a super heavy? Looks like a like with the Baneblade chassis. That seems dope. I think we'll do Lead Belcher, then we'll do black to get all this piping. I feel like these are like the main colors, really. Then we'll like clean up the armor, lighten it up a little bit, wash it. Maybe we can paint this whole entire dude tonight, or at least get far. I'll rewind to this part in the video and be like, I can't believe I said I was going to paint that whole guy. I barely got anything done. I think I'm also going to stream tomorrow. FYI. I can't decide if I want to do Tuesday, Thursday, or if I want to do Wednesday, Thursday. Definitely Thursday. I can commit to Thursday for sure. But I don't know what... I want to do 2 days a week. I'm not quite sure what the second day is yet. Ooh, what's up? Mega Master in the chat. He's got his popcorn ready. He's ready to chill. What's up, bro? What'd you think of that direct? You're enjoying the chill vibes? Hey, how's the audio, Mega Master? Is the music too loud? Is my voice too loud? Enjoying the chill vibes. Until. Audio's good? Okay, great. Thanks. I had like a... I keep like adjusting the mic and then it like stays at like this other setting that I put. And it's annoying. But I think I figured it out. Dude, classic. It's classic mic issues. I don't know if I want this thing to be... Let me pull up the picture of this guy real quick. I should actually put the picture of this just in the stream so everyone can see it. Let's see. Oh, my face is like right in front of the camera. Let's just grab this pic real quick. Copy. Can you just copy paste into OBS? How does that work? Or do I have to actually save it and like add it? One, two, three. Save. Add source. Image. Okay. Browse. Desktop. 1, 2, 3. Boom. Yeah. Okay, so we are working on something like this. Yeah, that's like black. That's silver. Okay. This is making sense. It's making sense. Then you guys can at least see. I'm not going for like full, like perfect box art. Oh, I meant like I was like in a browser, I wanted to hit copy and then paste like directly into like as if I was in Photoshop or something, but I don't think it works like that. I think you have to add a source. The chef is cooking. Dude, we're cooking. Yeah, it's going to be cool when it's finally done. It's probably going to take a couple days, but I don't know if I want this to be metal or not. It looks like it's metal in that picture, which is... I feel like this weird arm should just be like teeth. But what do I know? But I think we'll start making this... Because this weapon is the same as this weapon. And with that... Oh, I did bronze on that part? I guess we'll just kind of like go in the same vibe as the guy I already did. There's really no rules to this. It's just kind of whatever I think looks good. There are no rules. Till like somebody without any like social skills comes up to your table and they're like, "Oh, actually, because this guy in the Horus Heresy did this, he actually should look like this, and you painted him like that, so he doesn't even match your army." Blah, 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 blah. Average Warhammer player. Ugh. I really dislike the base coating step because it just feels like you're ruining the miniature. And then when you finally get to like wash it, shade it, highlight it, then it like starts to look good again. But there's like a part when you're like on your first base coat, you're like, I did like all the shading, pre-shading with my airbrush, and I'm just like ruining it. But you just kind of gotta like zoom out and keep going until you get more paint on the mini. It will look better eventually. On focus here. Is we focused? That looks okay. What is this taking up? It's on. Did I push it too many times? It's like on a delay. See that timer? There we go. We took a photo. Nice. Ha! Come on. Yeah, that's good. I feel like I'm being like a little too nitpicky on the focus, but that's fine. The focus isn't focusing. I think it is. This looks good. I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about any of it. Okay. Yeah, there's not a ton. Ugh, I'm so sick of these metallics. I want to move on. Yeah, I'm just not a fan of working with the metallics with like the weird glittery. It just doesn't feel the same way as like in a normal acrylic paint. And I don't love it. Okay, got some more chains. Let's get these silvered up. Like the glitter, if you just don't have the paint mixed just right, or thinned just right, the glitter will just like pool. Can be annoying to work with, but could just be a skill issue. Legit. Could be a skill issue. Mega Master, are you excited for that Pokemon Life Sim that's coming out? Where do you start? I don't know. Start at the beginning. I want to know your thoughts. Oh, you like Dragon Quest Builders? Do you get down on the Dragon Quest games? I don't know if we've ever talked about that. I'm a big fan of Dragon Quest. My brother came and visited me one weekend, and we beat 1 and 2, the phone remakes that got ported to Switch. We were both playing our Switches at the same time, going through the stories of Dragon Quest 1 and 2. It was super fun. I'll probably buy those HD2D remakes. Yeah, the Ditto choice is certainly a choice. I feel like there's been like a lot of like inappropriate jokes about Ditto, and then to like make Ditto be like a person like for real is just kind of a little bit of a questionable choice. But maybe Nintendo's just like, I don't know, like maybe people need to just not be so chronically online and just be more wholesome. New HD2 remakes. I've got if you don't own 3 remake, I can lend it to you. I have that physical. Yeah, no worries, dude. Just let me know. Oh yeah, I think I was playing it after that because I didn't finish it. I'm assuming you got a Switch too. Did you beat Bonanza yet? Oh, did you have a pre-order? Or did you just try to get it? Because I waited the night of, but because I waited in the pre-order line for like ever. Because I lucked out and I got a pre-order at Best Buy. Oh, that makes sense. I also didn't finish Bonanza, but just because I got a lot going on. I'm a busy boy. I'm playing Hollow Knight right now, which is just heck of fun. I really want to get Silk Song, but I'm not allowing myself to buy it till I actually beat Hollow Knight. I'm like 20 hours in. I'm pretty close. Got like, I think 3 more bosses left, according to what I can see in the game. I'm not trying to like look stuff up. No pre-order for you, but that's good. You got a day 1 anyway. That's dope. GG. It's Hollow Knight's real good, dude. I like kind of am annoyed that I slept on it for so long. It's definitely one of the best Metroidvanias ever made. Like, it's kind of no contest. I think nostalgia is like too powerful for like Symphony of the Night and Super Metroid. It'll probably never dethrone those two for me, but it's up there. We'll see how I feel when I actually finish the whole thing. See if it can stand next to all the greats. Oh, dude, I had a similar experience too, dude, where the people and I were just like cool to talk to and chill. And we just like talked about video games for 3 hours, and it was just like super fun, and like everyone was like nice. And I was like, is this what the world is? Is the world just full of people who are nice? Social media is telling me that it's not, but is it? Is there just nice people that you can just interact with? Do I want this to be red? No, they've got it like bronze, honestly. Let's start with silver and see if we want it to be bronze. I could see it being red, to be honest. Yes, there's a lot of overlapping pieces on this mini. It's like kind of hard to get my paintbrush into certain spots. Some people brought board games the best time. That's so funny. That's cool. I think we'll start this part silver 2. These teeth up here. Was that the end of that playlist? The music died. It is. What do we want? Zoink. Heavy metal to study to? No, we're gonna do more chill video game to study twos. Dude, you'll find them. I believe. I misplaced an Achilles dreadnought unassembled in a Ziploc for like 2 years, and then I found it behind my bookshelf. That was like super annoying. Because those minis are like $120. Dude, you'll find them. I believe. Yeah, it's Forge World. Custodies are cool. I just think I just am not good at playing them because it's just there's like just not a ton of pieces that you're playing with. I'm a much better MSU player because if I screw up one of my units, it's not so bad because I still have 13 more. But if I'm playing Custodies and I screw up one of my units, I only have 8 more. So, but those 8 are probably more durable than other things. So, I don't know. Hashtag get good screeching sounds. You and your dreadnoughts have a close bond? Heck yeah. I was about to paint my Ballista's dreadnought, but it just got nerfed. It's not like unplayable, but I just think that some things are just a little bit more efficient than the guy for 150 points. I thought he was in a good spot. I think the Ultramarines are like abusing him, is what I heard. They're running like triple Vindicator, triple Ballistas. I'm really glad they didn't make the Vindicator go up because I'm running 2 of them. That would have been annoying. Because that thing is just like a total casino gun. It just doesn't always do what you want it to. We are making some progress. All right, let's get... I just saw a bronze spot I missed. Yeah, that's true. It's not like the Achilles. It won't totally break your bank if you have to replace him. Did they do that thing with that guy where they put him in like an army box so you couldn't even buy him individually, or did they just release him? Oh, nice. That's cool. Not like my slaughterbound, which I can go get one now, or more now. Which I might do. I don't know. The mini is like not. This is not the coolest mini I've ever seen. It's hard to want to spend $40 to get a second one of these. And then paint it again. When I could like just dig around in my bits bin and just grab a Space Marine and just make it look all messed up. And glue like a possessed hand onto his, or possessed arm onto his body. And just be like, look, it's literally the same thing. But what I did to get this guy is I bought that box set, and I think I kept one of the 8-bound, and then I sold like everything else. I sold the Jackals on eBay. I sold the other 8-bound to a friend of mine. Gosh, there is just so much bronze on this guy. Let's see, how do they paint? Yeah, they make the balls completely metallic, I see. We can do that too. I don't know if I do that for my berserkers, but it doesn't really matter because this is a character, so he can look different and special. Trying to think of what I could do if I wanted to kit bash this, because it's not, I don't really mind like spending $40 to like get a different kind of character and then rummaging my bits bin. It's just kind of like, I don't want to, because there's no alternate. Oh, maybe there's a helmet swap on this. There's not like alternate poses or anything on this guy. So it really is just kind of like copy paste of the same guy twice, which I don't really want to do. It doesn't seem cool to me. I need to find a way to get my camera to like follow the Mini somehow. There's got to be some like script or something that you or some program that you can like run your camera through and have it like auto track your miniature. We are making some serious progress. I feel like I missed one other thing. Oh, I was debating whether or not to make his mask bronze. Maybe? I don't know how necessary that is. Maybe. Yeah, that does look cooler. That is cooler than silver. Oh yeah. Finally building up these cool colors. Gosh, it's so hard to get in here. It's like weird pipes in the way. It's kind of funny just how patient you have to be to paint world leaders when they're like the least patient army in lore. They're like, well, actually, here's just so much trim. Alright, I think I'm going to jump off of the silver just because I'm getting bored of it. And I'm going to move to black, but to do that, I need to wash out my water pot, and I will be back in 2 seconds. We're back. Allegedly. Alright, so we're going to switch to black. I'm going to use Pro Acryl Coal Black. I'm a big fan of Pro Acryl Coal Black. I think it's spectacular. Goes on so smooth. I'm going to thin it down just a little bit with water. I'm going to hit all this piping. And maybe the cloth. I can't remember who was talking about Alaris Terminators. Maybe it was you, Ben. But there's actually an Alaris Terminator on his base. There's an Alaris Terminator helmet right there, which is pretty cool. Nice. Okay, we'll just start picking away. Oh, also, all of his nails, the butcher's nails, will be black as well. We'll hit these. I already hit some of the butcher's nails with silver, but we'll build that back up. So I'll probably just go over it with black, just because I don't super care. I think this will really, now that we've got like 4 colors on him, he's gonna start looking. He's gonna be starting to look like a whole dude. I should probably pull up this model on the Warhammer site and just see what are they thinking here? Is that like flesh colored? Is that like bone color? Is that supposed to be like a spine? What are they going for here? Sometimes I'm not like 100% sure like what they're going for. Yes, I can't get my light to hit the top of that. Move this maybe? Without blasting it into the... That's... Which one is that? Is that that one? Yeah, there we go. As much as I like coal black, sometimes I wonder if it's like not worth it to use such like a pure black. That's like a rookie move. Like, should I be using like a dark gray and then blending up, blah blah blah. But that's okay. You guys don't come here for painting advice, I don't think. At least you shouldn't. Let's get this piping. Yo, JJ, what's up? Welcome to the stream. It's a sweet model, thanks. Yeah, it's so many details. I like primed this thing and like did like a little bit of shading with like the red, and then I did some white on here too. Because eventually what I want to do with this flesh tone is kind of just make it more like purpley. Which if you look at this guy, this is like eventually what his flesh will look like. It's just sort of like a more like purple tone. So you put him next to it. So we have like all the pre-work done. I just have to put like a blue shade on him to kind of make those colors go the way I want. So I'm trying hard not to get all these other colors on that flesh, since the flesh is like sort of already done, but it is what it is. What's up, Toasted? Welcome. Dude, thank you. I appreciate you saying that. Yeah, Chaos. I have a lot of armies. I have traditional Space Marines, run Blood Angels. I've got Tau, Corn Demons, and Adeptus Custodes, and a very, very small Harlequin collection that I have not started painting yet. But Chaos, oh my lord. It is... The trim is pretty maddening, and can be a little... When you're painting like 20 berserkers, it can be a little disheartening. You're just like, is this over yet? Am I having fun? Or did I just get like a job? Did I think I was doing a hobby and it turned into a job? Because this feels like work sometimes. But to sit down with just one character, this can be pretty fun. I am enjoying this guy. Because it's not like I'm tasked with... Where's my phone? Just lost the chat. Sorry, guys. 2 seconds. Lost the chat. We're back. The nice thing about doing just like a single character model is that when you do it, you're done. You don't have to do 9 more dudes. Yeah, Drakari real spindly. The Harlequin paint scheme that I'm going to do is not that bad, because I'm not going to do all those diamonds. I forget, I looked up all like the coolest lore, and I was trying to find like, what is the coolest lore matched with the paint scheme that I think is the coolest? And I sort of lucked out in finding, it's like a white and black and purple paint scheme. And maybe you guys who are more lore heads than me would know what that is. But it seemed pretty sweet. And the paint scheme seemed pretty doable with an airbrush. At least most of it. And you just come in for like some detail work. But elves are cool. That's definitely an 11th edition thing that I'm down to start. It'll be my like 5th and final army, allegedly. Trying not to like believe all the like, oh, there'll be a refresh. There's gonna be a refresh. It's like, dude, they've been saying that about Grey Knights for like 3 editions. There's gonna be a Grey Knight refresh. It's like, okay, it still doesn't happen. It never happens. So I'm not too hung up on the rumors of, oh, Harlequins, they're gonna get a refresh. I don't believe you. Some brave words by saying it's my final army. I don't know, man. I got a lot going on. And I've said this before, but I don't like to be... I like to be like a mid-table bully with my armies. I want to be able to like do okay at an event and just not get my ass handed to me. Like, obviously, I don't ever expect to like win like a large tournament, like an LVO or something like that. That's just not something I'll ever do. But like, I want to go to LVO and go like 3-3 or 4-2 and just like not get like totally destroyed. And in order to do that, I can't have too many armies that are pulling my focus. Otherwise, I won't ever be able to stay good enough to like get like at least a halfway respectable record at some of these events. And that's something that I care about. So it's not something all Warhammer players care about, but I kind of want to do okay when I go to a tournament. I don't think anybody likes losing, but I particularly don't like it. Something about how I'm constructed. I'm so used to losing. I suck a lot. I bet I could help you. Go from losing every game to winning a game every 6 months. That's the Phil guarantee. Yeah, it's weird. I feel like there's like a divide in the community because people are like weird and gatekeepy with the game, so it like pushes certain kind of players away. And I also just think Warhammer is like the game is a lot different than it used to be, like 15 years ago, and I think that attracts more modern players like me who like came up on video games and like really enjoy min-maxing and like rules chasing and all that kind of stuff like that. The game is a little bit balanced around that kind of stuff. And when I get pickup games at my local store, I feel like most people are we're playing with like the current rules and we're trying to play match play and like that's what I wanted. I want to do my best and I want to win. So like if you want to get a game that's like good and fun, you kind of also have to be doing that. And if you're not doing that, you're just going to get trounced all the time. So it kind of depends on like what your local community is like doing if they're playing that way, which has been my experience. At least the like I live in LA, like the 4 or 5 major stores that I've been to in LA, it's sort of like that. And if you don't want a game, you have to like specifically ask for a game that like isn't like that to get a different kind of game. Because if you're just like, I'm just trying to play 2K, like people are gonna bring something good. Usually. But I'm not here to say that one way is better than the other. That the gamers are cooler than the painters. You know what I mean? Like I feel like it's just like a cool hobby that everybody can like the part that they like. And that's just kind of how it goes. I just am a little bit more of a competitive person, and a lot of my like previous like interests and hobbies have been in video games, and I feel like that translates more to like the competitive side of Warhammer. Oh, nice! You're gonna get a 1K game. That's sweet. Mini agnostic skirmish games. Do you ever play BattleTech Alpha Strike? Those are mini agnostic, as far as I recall. What skirmish games are you into? Alpha Strike is the current like skirmish size of BattleTech, where the rules are a little bit more simplified. The like battle damage isn't as crazy. Like when one of your things breaks, you don't have to like go to a nodule on the armpit of the thing to get a percentage of. I don't know the rules enough to make fun of it, but it's just not as granular as like the big one, which I think has a name. It's like Total War, but it's not Total War. I feel like it has a name like that. Man, getting under this guy's like weapons has been a little bit of a struggle. I'm trying really hard not to touch the mini itself. Oh, and hate being that guy, but just because it helps us make more friends, if you guys are enjoying the stream, hit the like button. And if you want to return, hit the subscribe button. But it'll help us have better conversations with more people if we do our algorithm due diligence. I just want more hobbyists in here hanging out, you know what I mean? Sharing our cool war stories and hobby advice, or oh, I played this game today, it was crazy. I took out Mortarion with an assault intercessor. He rolled 5 6s and Mortarion rolled all 1s. Ah. Frostgrave, Stargrave, Dead Man's Hand. This is not tested. Bro, I don't know what any of that is, but tell me about it if you want. I know about Marvel Crisis Protocol. I know about BattleTech. I know about Warhammer and Age of Sigmar. I know about... Gosh, there's another one that... Malifaux? Is that a game? I feel like people are always talking about Malifaux. Woohoo! JJ, thanks for the sub, bud. Appreciate it. Is Malifaux miniature agnostic? I feel like it is, right? Like a little nervous to try to get in on that. There's like some like veiny, pipey things there. Just still in focus. I feel like I want to be painting right here. Therefore, I should move my camera. Ah! Earthquake. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's better. All right, this guy. I'm starting to feel less stressed about this mini. Now that we have like, so we have like 6 colors on him now. We're making some serious progress. Starting to feel. I was like a little bit stressed about it, but I'm feeling good. Now we can just kind of vibe. We got through like the hard part. Now we can just do the artistry, which I am excited about. Just doing what like feels and looks good. We're done with like the paint by number part, which is the definitely the most boring part of this. Oh, there's a Halo skirmish game. I saw that like something point. What is it? I can't remember. Like Flashpoint or something? That might be too simple. Alright, I'm busting out the corn red. I'm gonna do a little touch-ups. I'm not 100% sure if corn red is like the right choice for this, but it's close. Malifaux is not mini agnostic. They're very nice, but very pricey. As pricey as Warhammer? Warhammer, I feel like, has got to have the most expensive ones. But maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah, this looks a little bright, but we'll see. See when it dries, if it... I don't know, when it dries it looks fine. It's a little nervous it was going to be too bright. No, that's like perfect. We like this. We're a fan of corn red for this part of the project. We good? We in frame? We in focus, friends? You just tell me. If I'm not in frame, if I'm not in focus, if the music's too loud, if my voice is too quiet, you just yell at me, guys. You say, hey, bro, I can't hear you. Bro, I can't see the mini. And then I'll go, okay, let me fix that for you. No problem. What is that? No, sorry. I say a lot of things. You almost sometimes, when you want me to understand what you're saying, you do almost have to say a full sentence sometimes, because if I don't check chat or if I say 10 things at once, you could have said no to anything I just said. I don't have any idea. Man, we love this. This is coming together. Oh, black needs to go there. I just noticed that. Warhammer's not cheaper than Malifaux. Warhammer, I think he's saying that it's not cheaper than Malifaux, which means it would be more expensive. Which I believe I have to think that Warhammer's the most expensive minigame. By like a lot. Their prices are wild. They're cuckoo bananas. Yeah. Crazy. I mean, I will say though, the Warhammer stuff is like insanely high quality. At least the newer stuff that they've been putting out. It is a little silly that they'll charge like $90 for a tank that they made in 2002. It is like all warped. It's like that's what we're doing. We're charging that much for that tank. Man, there's so much overlap on this guy's. It's like the top of this model has so much overlap. It's like hard to get in on these piping. It's hard to get under it, hard to get the bottom of these pipes. Ugh, there's even more pipes on his pack I gotta try to get. Oh, you know what? I spent a lot of time in Philly back in the day. Wasn't into tabletop games though when I lived there. I'd love to go back and check out their game stores. Philly rules. Oh, nice. I've never been to Scranton. I'm not missing much. Fair. I haven't yet decided what I want to do with these like little blood canister things. I like a little bit want to like hand paint, like kind of like build them up and like actually paint as if there was blood in them, like, and kind of do like a little artistry with it. But at the same time, it's like gonna be so much work. Their whole identity is the Office TV show. Yeah, I actually was not even gonna bring that up. I was like, that's the only thing I know Scranton from, and I was like, I figured I'd save you having to hear another person anytime they hear the word Scranton be like, oh, isn't that where the Office took place? And I was like, I'll just leave him alone. I'm sure he hears that every day of his life. Cat's got the zoomies in the background. Okay. Let's go. Gosh, there's so many details in this video. Indy, leave it. My dog's just being a stereotypical dog and chasing my cat around. Just plotting out my next move here. I think we just got to do more base coat. Not quite sure what color. Paint them black, fill them half red, with a light pink line at the surface. Pretty fast. I thought that was the kids. Nah, kids are asleep. It's 10 o'clock. Indy, come here. Indy. Oh. It's a big crashing sound. Either the cat or the dog survived. I don't know. One of the two. Dude, it is. It's a war zone back there. I don't know what they're up to. They got like the late night zoomies. You never know what they're doing back there. Do I primarily use Citadel paints? I think if we're going to use the word primarily, I think I'm going to say yes. I think that's just because I have like amassed them over the last few years. I think when I've been buying new paints the last year or so, I really like Pro Acryl. Pro Acryl paints are just like, every time I buy a Pro Acryl paint, I'm like, this is the best paint I've ever used. And then I think the Army Painter has like some pretty good speed paints I'm a fan of. But a majority of my collection is comprised of Citadel paint. But Pro Acryl, there's another brand I like too. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. I have like a lot of like Vallejo products, but they're not a lot of Vallejo paints. Like Vallejo, like texture based stuff that I have a bunch of is pretty good. But I hear people swear by Vallejo. But my local didn't really carry it. George broken Art Painter tagging a new paint. Yeah, Art Painter's fine. I think I've had some trouble with their spray cans kind of not being amazing quality. But I use Art Painter brushes, which are fine because they're cheap. And I'm just notoriously bad at like forgetting to wash my brushes. I'll paint for like 7 hours and then just like walk away from my paint station distracted by something. And then I'm like, well, guess I gotta buy a new brush because that thing is destroyed now. Because I left like Rune Lord brass just crusting on it for 3 days. Oh, are they coming out with a new brush line? If it's similarly priced, I'm interested. If it's more expensive, I'm not. This hobby is expensive enough. And I'm not a good enough painter to want to buy super fancy schmancy brushes. It's not going to make me a better painter. Alright, that's some pretty good cleanup on the red. I am like a little bit tempted to just throw some washes on here just to see where we're at with this guy. Oh, nice. Yeah, I think I've heard of that brush. I don't really get down on all that stuff because I'm just not that good enough a painter. Let's get a little bit more black on here. Man, if I get another one of these, I think I'm going to sub-assemble it. This guy is pretty hard to paint. He just has so many overlapping pieces. Like 1 or 2 overlapping pieces, I'm like, whatever, we can work around this. But the amount of detail on this like hero guy and how much overlap there is like up in that region, I think it would have maybe attached the back, like all this backpack stuff last. Like painted the whole guy and then had this backpack part not attached and then put this on after. But I can't remember when I was assembling it if that it was even like an easy thing to do or if it would have been like impossible to do that. I don't recall. Let's get a little bit more red on here. Yeah, I typically only sub-assemble things that are like giant, like all my Primarchs and my greater demons. I sub-assemble those. But all this like these infantry guys, it just seems like it's a little bit overkill. In my opinion. Yeah. I'm trying to clean up this bronze and I'm messing up the bronze. That's how you make a paint project never end. You like you fix the one part and then you mess up the other part and then you go back and fix that part and you mess up that part. All right, I think I'm gonna switch to brown because there's a lot of like spikes and horns and teeth and stuff that I want to build up to be like yellowishy white. And I think starting with a brown is a good place to start for that kind of color. So I'm going Rhinox hide. That's probably my favorite, like quote unquote brown from Citadel. Ooh, that's a good question. Yeah, what is everybody painting? What's everyone excited about? Are we painting? Are we just watching me paint? Painting words on paper, nice. Playing Team Fortress 2, my current project is doing sterilizers. I don't even know what that is. Team Fortress 2, that's a classic. I was playing that game like 20 years ago. On the orange box. I guess it's still pretty popular on Steam. so quick. I don't know jack diddly about AdMech. I know they have a really cool like melee unit that I really like the minis for. They're like a bunch of dudes that look like this. And I think those dudes are rad. And they have cool little like open truck things. I like some of their minis a lot. And I also like that they're just weird Mars like half robot men that pray to the Omnissiah. White phosphorus flamethrowers. Sounds cool. I mean, what I would do is I would make every effort. This is I'll tell you the right thing to do. Make every effort to try to get that stuff back to him. And if the universe wants to reward you for making every effort to get it back to him and he doesn't get back to you, then that stuff is now yours. But I think what you should do is try your hardest to get a hold of him and get that stuff back to him. You could even offer, just be like, hey man, if you don't want it, I could just keep it. Like, I don't mind keeping it. But my guess is if he's ghosted you for a year and a half, he's not super interested in either talking with you or keeping that army. So you might just get to keep that stuff. But maybe he's got a lot going on. That's why he's ghosting you. So I'd be annoyed if I had a lot going on. I was real busy and I hadn't had a chance to like reach out to that guy that I left my army with, and then all of a sudden he was just like ghosting me and not giving my army back. That would make me upset. But I'm not there. I don't know what's going on over there. That's for you to decide. That's for you and the Emperor to decide. Yikes. Well, I hope that guy's okay. Sounds like he's either the most disorganized guy in the world or he's just like a missing person right now. But I've known people like that in this hobby who are just sort of like bad at communicating. So it wouldn't surprise me if their focus is on something else. right, I am starting to feel pretty pleased with how this guy's coming along. This brings me joy. That's what it's supposed to be like, right? Right? I'm going to take a look at this pic again, and I can bring it up on screen so everyone else can look. I want to see how the like official model is doing these blood pack things. Blow this up huge. Yeah, they're like grayish at the top. He's got red eyes. Oh, I haven't started on the skulls yet. I should consider base coating that up with gray. No, I didn't finish that part either. Yeah. Oh, we gotta do brown on those spikes too. Okay. Alright, we've got a plan of attack. Oh, my guy looks great. Thanks, dude. We are making some serious progress. I'm not mad about it. We're making some real progress. Rah! I'm just happy that we're like sort of done with that metallic step. I don't like it. I think I need to just kind of bite the bullet and learn how to do non-metallic metal, because I just don't like it. It's like hard to apply. I mean, it's, again, like I was saying earlier, it's probably just skill issue, but I find it hard to apply. I think it's hard to like switch to a different color because then your paint water gets all glittery. It's just annoying. I am not a fan. It is fast though. Like as opposed to doing like a brown and then a yellow and like a mixed brown yellow and then a white and then edge highlight and da-da-da. Like you throw it on there and you're done. And da-da-da. I swear I saw another thing that needed brown. That needs bronze. That needs green. Oh, that needed black. That was the thing I needed. Yeah, OSL I have dabbled in a bit. With some of my like blade, like my Custodes blades, I've done some OSL on. What was I just doing OSL on? Oh, I was trying to do OSL on my Inceptor. Oh shit, they're not close, are they? I could show you guys the progress I made because the Inceptors were the last stream. Let's see if I can do this without knocking the camera over. Oh god. So we've made some serious progress on the Inceptors since the last stream. If people were curious on that progress, I'm pretty happy with how these guys are turning out. But we did some OSL on these plasmas to try to give like a glowing effect. And then we airbrushed like red up in here, a little bit of OSL here, and then gray, and then airbrushed brown. But I think these guys are turning out pretty phenomenal. But that's a little update from if you guys were watching last stream. But I think we're, at least for the moment, I think I'm switching over to World Eaters. Because we're pretty close on our hobbying for World Eaters to being like tournament ready. And I'm hosting a tournament on the 28th. And I kind of want to bring an army that's a little bit more head empty, since I'll be like I'm judging the event in addition to trying to play in it. The sound effect made it look better. Nice. But yeah, those dudes are dope, I think. I think they're turning out pretty good. Oh, but what I was trying to say is that World Eaters, I think, tend to be a little bit easier to play than the version of Blood Angels that I'm currently playing. Because Angelic Inheritors really requires a lot of precise like CP management. I mean, I guess most armies do, but especially that army, you really can't spend your CP poorly, or your whole game plan kind of falls apart. And there's also just like a lot of jank with like lone operatives and trying to like leverage lone operatives while having like not the best like OC numbers across your army. I've also got like incursors for like setting up combos to get +1 to hit and then getting sustained hits with the stratagem. It's just kind of like a lot of like comboing, and then you have to like think about, okay, what's my oath target? What is my army shooting? What is my army trying to kill in combat? And with World Eaters, you just kind of go, I'm gonna move 10 inches and I'm gonna punch you in the face. And if you stand within like 16 inches of me, I'm gonna punch you in the face. And that's like a little bit easier if I'm trying to run an event, to just be like, the game plan is to stand 16 inches away from my opponent and punch them in the face. It's a foolproof plan. Hunterclad is hard. Your main unit can't even kill space rangers that help characters or strats. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting at. Is like, if I'm gonna be like organizing the event, and people like, tend to, this is like my third or fourth one. People tend to like ask me to like come over to their table and like, can I do this? Can we do this? And I have to pause my clock and then go back to my table. So to have an army that's like complicated, because I don't want to just like clock out while I'm trying to just hang out and play and run a cool event for people. But this will at least give me a chance to like win a game or two. 2 tournaments ago, I accidentally won it. I just ran Scarbrand and Angron sort of as a meme, and I just won. They just kicked ass. It was awesome. I got pretty favorable. I got lucky. Basically, I beat one of the better players at our store in the first round, and like that kind of like set me up for success. And then my next 2 pairings were, the guy I played third was like actually pretty decent, but he made like a couple misplays that I just capitalized on. And also, he was playing Adeptus Custodes, and that's one of my main armies. So when I see it on the other side of the table, I'm like, I know what you're doing. And then I tend to have good win rates into, which means what I should do is study more and try to learn other people's armies. But when I'm playing into armies that I play, I tend to have a pretty favorable win rate. So maybe I should just do my homework and learn what the other armies do. Maybe. Oh, nice. Let's go. Let's paint. Paint party. Let's go. If I inspire anyone to slay the gray, I'm a happy camper. Because I find it so hard to get motivated to paint. But I don't know. Look at all this work I'm doing today. This is nice. This guy's has some serious progress here. look at this beast. This literal beast. Oops. Literal beast. Yeah, that holds me up sometimes too, is the spray cans. I'm like, oh no, I ran out of primer and I gotta wait for the store to open. I was gonna paint tonight. But the truth is that I have plenty of things primed and ready to paint, but I like to find excuses to not do it. Oh, I couldn't possibly. My water grow. I'm thirsty as heck. Yeah, what are they, like 20 bucks? $20 to prime your mini is pricey. But I can get like a couple boxes of minis out of a can, usually. I've tried to do airbrush priming, but it takes so long, it's not worth the money you save. I mean, if you already own an airbrush and you've already spent the money on the airbrush. It takes so long. If I'm just doing like a character or like maybe like a 3-man unit of like Blade Guard or something, I will do the airbrush just because it's cheaper. But most of the time what I do is I will have like assembled like 5 boxes of minis and I will prime them and I will base them with the airbrush, like get the primary color on with like a shade on, and then I'll like set them to the side for like 6 months and I'm like, all right, I'll come back to this project later. That's like typically my workflow. So I could go to my mini cabinet like kind of at any time and go pull out. Oof, a little bit of black was mixed in on that. Whoopsie. I could go to my mini cabinet kind of whenever and just like pull out something and then just sit down and paint it. I just like all of my Space Marines are like primed and the primary color is already applied. So I just can go grab a unit and just start working on it. All right, let's see if we get... You have 8 Contemptors? Whoa. You gotta paint them up. Why did I pull this out? I was gonna hit something with this. I don't remember. Oh, up here. You want to buy 4 more? You're 21? What? Why would you need that many? I have 1 Contemptor Dreadnought. I'm seeing a couple spots I need to go back on bronze with. I don't want to. I can't remember what this green is that I used to use. Oh no, I used that blue on that. Yeah, I have the new one from. Well, I guess it's not new anymore, but it came in that Age of Darkness kit. Those are cool. All right, I think. Oh, I was gonna do more brown on that side too. Let's not forget that. Little teeth nubbins. I feel like I'm gonna paint over this silver because I'm not obsessed with it. Yeah. I feel like it should be more like biological and less mechanical. Oh, Volkite Shred and Heresy? That's dope. I didn't know that. Volkite is cool. I was playing with the new... There's like a Volkite upgrade... Or not upgrade, but like DLC in the new Space Marine game, and that was hella cool. I was enjoying that for show. It's cool to see like what these weapons actually do. Because I like know what they look like on the miniatures, but like I didn't realize the Volkite like shot like that. I was like, whoa, that's cool. Oh, that's cool. It's like sustained hits and current 40k. Alright, I think we move to gray for these skulls. Where is my gray? Oh, did I need to, I maybe needed to buy more gray. I think maybe I don't have any. Uh-oh. Huh. There we go. No sustained hits since 7th. I have like little to no historical knowledge of this game. I played 9th edition 40k. I played Kill Team 2 or whatever. And I played 10th edition 40k. Oh, I actually have some, Nikki, but that's a great idea. I was gonna maybe do that, but I found some. I don't even know if I actually love this gray, to be honest. I might actually do some mixing, though. Right meow. It's a little bit dark. What if I mixed it with, like, Steel Legion Drab? Where is that? I feel like I pulled that out. There it is. If I mixed, like, these two, would that just look like poop? Or would it look cool? Yeah, yeah. This is something, maybe. Maybe we're doing something. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that's cool. It looks gross, which is good because we're doing chaos painting today, so it should look gross. Good practice. Yeah, true. Let's just send it. That's kind of what I like to do sometimes. I'm like, I don't know. Let's just try it. I mean, honestly, I think this is good. Look at that mix. It's like the gray. I don't know how well you guys can see the colors on screen, but it's a mix of the gray and Steel Legion Drab, and I actually think it looks a lot like bone already. I think that was a good choice. We're happy with this. It's a good like first color for these skulls. And then honestly, I'll probably just dry brush them white and then wash them with like Skeleton Horde. And then maybe like edge highlight white and then call it a day. Still sounds like maybe a lot of steps, but I think it's fine. I don't know. Is this like tied on? I don't understand what I'm looking at here. It's maybe a later problem. Yeah, I am so happy with this. I gotta remember that. Steel Legion Drab mixed with Mechanicus Gray makes a very cool pale bone color. We like this. This guy is looking so cool. Finally getting to the step where like I can actually feel dopamine from this and not just pain. Where my work is actually paying off. How far are we into the stream? We've gotta be like 2.5 hours in. Gotta be. How far are we in here? What? 3 hours and 15 minutes in. Okay, fine. Yeah, we're working on this guy. I didn't realize it was already 10:30. We've come so far, though. I'm not ready to quit on this yet. Nice. Good job. The thing I've found about painting, as I've been doing this for the last few years, is that sometimes you just gotta just do it, man. Just gotta be like, I don't know, that's not cool enough. I'll just try this. And then sometimes it doesn't work. But a lot of times, it's kind of it's just good. It might not be like exactly how I envisioned it in my head, but it ends up being cool enough. Yeah, totally, Nikki. I feel that. You don't remember what gray you used? Does it super matter, or can you just pick a new one? Or will it look super weird? Yeah, I think I did that once where I started like an Excel document where I had every paint recipe I was doing. And then I just stopped doing it because I was like, whatever. But I could see wanting to keep doing that. So many skulls for the Skull Throne. Oh, I see. It's one of the main colors. Got it. Yeah, maybe do like try a couple different grays that you have, do some test swatches and see what looks close. Because you can always paint over it. Especially gray, where it's basically like the color you probably prime with. Yeah, then the mystery will be solved quickly. You got a 50-50 chance of guessing right. Man, we are coming along. Your grays on. Oh, shake it up, dude. Sometimes it'll those types of colors can like settle. I've noticed that with some of my other colors, where like I feel like Wraithbone gets real chunky and like unsettled, and you have to shake it like crazy. Yeah, probably like separate it a bit. I would just shake it like crazy. I have one of those like muscle massager like gun things, and sometimes when my paints like really need to get shook up, I use that thing. It works like super well. Sorry guys, trying to get the focus was like not quite hitting the spot where I was at, so I wanted to move the camera. I'll try to give anybody motion sickness from watching this. It sounds like Destiny music. It is, I think it's the Hollow Knight soundtrack. Pretty sure. The first half of the stream, we were listening to Castlevania, like, lo-fi. And then for this part of the stream, I think it's been the Hollow Knight soundtrack. might actually make more sense for this rock to be black than gray. I played Destiny a little bit. I had a friend that got super into Destiny 2, and I tried to play with them for a little bit. I found Destiny to be like a pretty repetitive game. I was like not in love with it. It was like, shoot this, do this, chase the dragon. Like, I'm good. It's a little bit like World of Warcraft in that way, where it's like, do this one thing 60 million times to get this kind of gear. And I'm like, okay. I actually have like other things I need to do. Not trying to yuck your yum though. Like when I did play it, I did enjoy it. I just couldn't like get diehard about it. Uh-oh. Yeah, you might need to just grab a new pot. That sucks though, it's annoying. Sorry that's happening. It's very annoying when you're like all psyched to do something and then just all of a sudden something in your life just says no. Just randomly painting the base just for fun. Just give a little bit of contrast here. Nice. We're almost done. I think we should finish up the skulls. And then... Oh, and then I try not to do this more than like 2 or 3 times a stream. But if you guys are enjoying the stream, make sure to hit the like button, because it'll help us meet new friends to talk about the hobby with. Because then YouTube will be like, oh, people like this. Maybe I will give this to other people who like miniatures and see if they want to hang out with these people who do miniature things. Woohoo, haha. If you don't like the stream though, hit the dislike button because that helps almost as much. But I prefer you hit the like button if you like it. Or don't, just keep painting, doesn't matter. I'm just doing this for fun. Really tempted to, before we stop, because we're on such a good roll, to just throw that blue wash on him tonight, just to get him to where we want to be. But also I feel like just kind of stopping after we've like base coated him is like pretty legit as well. Nice. The scary thing about mixing up the perfect gray is then... Well, I guess if you know what paint to go buy, then you're fine. But the scary thing about mixing the perfect gray is then you gotta mix it perfect every time. Wahaha. Alright, we're switching back to metallic. just to base coat up a little bit more of these pieces we missed. Can't decide if I want. We're gonna go ahead and just paint it bronze and see. I feel like that's cooler. Bronze there, bronze there. Bronze underneath. Ooh, maybe a little bit more bronze up in here. Where else did I want bronze? I swear I saw... Oh, there. I need bronze on these. It's like the underside of this I missed. What else? Underside of that one. Underside of his face guard thing. Let's grab a different brush because I just saw a brown spot that I missed. Excellent. Okay. And then I had to do a little bit more silver. Do we have silver out still? Did it? Oh, it's right there. Thought maybe it dried up, but we're good. Teeth. Come on. Excellent. Just get the underside of them a little bit, not a ton. I think there was another, yeah, like in there. Chain. And then we'll just hit a little bit of this. All these like the tears on these pipes should read metallic. So much detail on this dude. character I feel like is a good stream project. I need a little bit more black in there, but that's fine. Yeah, that underside needs a little bit of help. I feel like it's kind of sloppy down there, but who's going to hold my mini upside down in the middle of a game? Come on. It seems unrealistic that that would happen. I don't understand. I'm like mixing this. I just can't. I'm so sick of these metallics. It's alright. We got it. We're just breathing. Ain't no thing. It was like Hollow Knight sound effect. I was like, what is that notification? I don't remember setting up that alert. Okay, my friends, that is where we are going to call it for tonight. I think we are mostly base coated. Every piece of this miniature has at least the starter color on it. Everything except like the little blood, like capsule things. I think that's going to be like a kind of end of project thing that we work on. So I am very likely coming back tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time. So if you want to see me finish up this mini, hit that subscribe button and come back tomorrow. And I'll see you later. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.